From Nigeria to Vegas, the lights are bright. Champagne popping under the neon night. I swear be shining gold and white. Laughter louder than the city's heights. Oh yeah, step on the dance floor. Wind your waist, bend down low. Nigeria to the world, let it show. We rock it, we flex it, let it flow. There's a heat, but we bring the rain.
All right. Welcome back, everybody. How you doing? Today is the 27th of August 2025, and we are back again with Hangout with Uncle Beno. And today I got a fantabulous, my paddy, my own first American woman friend in the studio, and I'm gonna be rolling with her for the next 1 hour. Welcome back. On this episode, we're gonna talk about culture, love, and marriage, an American woman's African journey. If you're ready, I am so ready. But first, how are you guys doing today? All right, please hit the like as you come into the show, and of course, share with your friends. Invite everyone to be part of this episode because I'm going to be chatting with my good friend for the next 45 minutes to 1 hour. All right. Okay, let me first of all share this to the real fam. Yeah, we're live. Yes. All right, welcome, everybody. I'm gonna quickly recognize everybody in the studio right now, and then we can go to this conversation. I see you are here already, my brother Luke. What's up, Luke? How you doing? How is Nigeria treating you guys today? My Sissy in the building. Sissy, what's up? Sissy, the troublemaker. Sissy, because my brother is around, you abandon me. No worry, oh, no worry. Now me, I use Sissy. And of course, I see Comfort Adagri. Comfort, how are you doing today? Mercy Kendra, what's up, mama? Mercy Ajine. All the crew members are here. Balogun Zainab, how are you doing, Z? You well done. And I see my sweet sister all the way from Canada, Bilba, in the building. Bilba, how you day? How Canada? Hope the cold is not too much. All right. Yeah, what are you saying, Sissy? Sissy said, I've been away enjoying my baby. I'm back, so I have your time. There is something about these ladies when they find love like this. They will just abandon their best friend. Eh? Sissy, you used to claim you are my best friend. Now, anytime my brother is around, you will just abandon me, you disappear. And then you show up again and say, hey, Ben, what's up? What's going on? Sissy, I disfriend you. I like that, though. I like that. All right. Without wasting much of your time, let me introduce you to my cool friend, my sweet sister, and the fantabulous guest we're going to be interacting with on our show today. She's a member of the Real Fam. She is in the backstage too, but she's like, oh God, I can't catch up. But anyway, don't let me bore you with my rhetorics. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome my sweet sister, Missy Njomo. What's
Hi,
up, Missy?
can I greet you in my language, in my languages?
Yeah, let's do it. Let's
All
do it,
right,
man.
my Yoruba language, I'm going to say Kilon Chalet. My Igbo language, I'm going to say Kedu. For all
Whoa.
my French speakers, I'm going to say Bonjour. And for my Americans, hello. And for my Texans, howdy.
Mm. Oh, wow. You really know this, Missy? Okay. I like that already. How have you been, Missy? It's been a while, mama.
I have been wonderful. Thank you for having me.
It's my pleasure. But I have a complaint first of all. Just like I was just talking about CC right now. Once you, my friends, the moment you find love, you just forget about me. Why? Am I a bad friend?
You are a wonderful friend, Ben. But like I think it was Sissy. I'm just with my baby. It's just me and my baby, and we're against the world.
Really?
Yeah.
Because before I'll be like, Missy will be like, if we go like 3 weeks, you don't see me, you just chat, hey Ben, what's going on with you? And I'll be like, I'm still trying to survive, mama. But I think how long now? You've been married for like 5 years now, right?
It's almost 5 years. Time
Yeah.
flies when you're having fun.
Right? Immediately you found my brother, you're just like, oh Ben, we're in a vacation. I was trying to talk to you, Ben, but this vacation. And Sissy is doing the same thing to me right now. The moment my brother is in town, Pim, Sissy is gone. She might gone for like a week or two, and then she'll come back and say, hey, Rifan, what do I miss? Anyway, you're forgiven, Missy. It's
Thank
so
you.
cool. It's so cool to have you here. All right, Missy, this is the Real Fam. Real Fam, this is Missy. Missy and I, we go a very, very long way. First off, I want you guys to help me appreciate Missy. When I got to the United States, it was kind of tough. Language barrier wise, I can't speak, hey, yo, what's up, what's up? I can't speak all of that. So, and of course, my Ondo accent was, oh my God, my Ondo accent was very thick. But somehow, God connected Missy and I. Missy is a very fantabulous woman. She always come around in our African parties and African businesses, all of that. So Missy and I got connected us. I think when I was just like about 8 months in United States, and ever since then, she has been my wonderful sister. This lady can be so patient, man. I think Missy is the first person that when I was speaking, even though she don't hear what I'm saying, she just gonna be smiling, doing the understanding thing, and that make me comfortable. Okay, and then later, I started when I don't know how to say some things or when I don't understand something, I'll get across to Missy and be like, "Hey sis, how can I do this? Hey, do you know how I feel do this one?" And Missy in her calm voice be like, "Hey Ben, don't worry. This is all you got to do." Oh man, this lady is so sweet. So Missy, I want to thank you officially for being one of my best friend right here in United States. Oh man. So Missy, let me allow you to give us your background. So introduce yourself to my community, please. And you are
Sure.
part of the community now. So let's go.
So, as you said, my name is Missy Jomo. By education, I am a chemist. I worked as a chemist specifically for about 22 years, and now I'm a project manager. I also have several little side hustles, as you do. I've learned the African way. So, I have a general contractor's business. I have an online boutique. I love to just make women look beautiful, and now I'm in the business of helping people in life. And I have 3 beautiful kids. I have can't believe it. I have a second-year college student. She seems to want to follow after her mom. She's business minded. She's in business school, and she already is doing several businesses herself. And then I have another daughter who's in high school and a son that's wow, a seventh grader. And then, of course, my wonderful husband, William. He is a general. We own our business together as a general contractor.
Yeah, yeah. And wow, Missy, I know you are this fantastic lady. You know how I felt the first time I actually discovered that you are a boss lady? This lady go school and she be a guy. She's a boss lady at her job. The first time I got to know that my good friend was actually a top executive, I'm like, Jesus Christ. But how do you mix up with everybody and the way you carry yourself and all that? I've always wanted to ask you, Missy. You know, I that's why I so much love many of my sisters right here at the Real Fam. I have a lot of professional sisters, brothers, uncles, aunties right here on this platform. People that they are way up there, but the way they interact, the way they mix up, it just kind of feel like, that kind of body friends that you've known for a long time. That's the way it is for me. So I wanted to ask you, Missy, How do you do it being a boss lady, having all these men under you, supervising all these big construction works and for over 22 years? How do you do it that you can still come down to everybody's level without trying to intimidate them?
Well, I'm gonna be honest. It wasn't an easy task. That's where I'm gonna start because I'm just gonna be honest. You know, me as a African American woman working in a male-dominated industry of mostly Caucasian men, it
Mhm.
definitely wasn't easy. Um, Going out on projects, people tend to have thought that maybe I was just, I don't really know what they thought I was, but they initially didn't treat me as anything. For instance, um, when I met people for the first time, I would go up to the front and get them, bring them back to my area and sit them down so that we can have our meeting. When I come back, they were shocked. They were shocked to know that I was the one that they were coming to meet. They actually thought I was the secretary. And so it was like, surprise, surprise, you were here to see me. And so sometimes it was really challenging, and it was a constant battle trying to prove yourself and prove that you
Mm.
are where you're supposed to be. That yes, I mean I don't only have a chemistry degree. I actually also have a math degree. So I have education in my background. It's nothing wrong with being a secretary, but that wasn't my that's not my portion. And so, yeah, it was very challenging in that industry. I'm still in that industry, just in a different role, and it continues to be challenging because
Yeah,
inspectors have to answer to me for different for I manage right now 9 projects, so
I know.
it's challenging. Without being too
I
specific, I'm going to say it's definitely a challenging place to be in. But I thank God for, like you said, the patience that I've had to exercise while dealing with them, and the vision, the goal is I can see the end. Less than 4 years from retirement, I can retire young, and then I can start my new career, and I'm looking forward to it.
Oh wow, I can't wait to be at that retirement party. Honestly, I can't wait to be there, Missy. But
Yeah.
Missy, how do you manage to laugh, to smile all the time? I'm not trying to get into your business, and because that is not what this is all about. But being we befriend now for I think close to 12 years now, and I've
Yeah.
seen you gone through a lot, and I've also seen you excel in so many things. One of the things I admire the most about you is your calmness. And I won't lie, I will even say this in my Yoruba language right now. Your calmness, they scare me. You are one sister I have never seen get angry. I don't know. Honestly, I don't know how you do it. I've seen you in difficult situations. I've seen you come to African party, try to help out, and some people will be misbehaving, and you just maintain your calmness. I've seen you going through some really difficult time as a mom, juggling work, kids, family, and yet you stay calm. What is the secret, Missy?
Well, my number one secret is being grounded and rooted in the Word of God. That
Hmm.
is in
Hallelujah.
if you're not grounded, if you that don't have a faith to keep you grounded, you will go everywhere. You have to stand for something, or you'll fall for everything. So I just stand firmly rooted and grounded in my beliefs, and also, as a African American woman, there's an expectation for us to be uncouth, for us to be angry and for us to be agitated easily. That's the perception that a lot of people have. And I just refuse to give into that perception. That's not me. I feel like African American women are very, polished and very I'm looking for the word. It's escaping me, but we're more than that. So I'm not going to give what people expect. But it is challenging, and sometimes you just have to take a mental break and
Yeah.
just count to yourself, because I will have to say at African parties it did get a little, because I'm a very organized person. That's one of my businesses. I'm a event coordinator, an event planner, and so sometimes it was difficult to bring order, because I understand that in African culture, the man is the head. So here comes this African American woman trying to tell them what to do, and they're not receiving it very well.
Oh my God. Miss E, you, you're going to let my sisters come for us right now. All right, all right. That's a very lovely story right there. Thank you, Missy, for at least walking us through how you were able to stay strong. Now, Missy, let's get into some areas of your life here. And you mentioned African culture, you mentioned African party, and I want to have you explain what went down here. I got a video I want to show right now. This is the video. It was a Two-Face Idibia concert right here. I think this is right here in Austin, right, Missy?
It was in Austin, yes.
Yeah, so this is where you get to meet my brother. My brother, my Cameroonian gentle giant brother. So, walk us through what happened here. How did you get proposed to at a Two-Face concert? What were you? How did you have any expectation that this was going to happen? Because I'm still going to ask you how you get to capture my brother. So what happens, Missy? Tell me.
That night was the night that really changed my life. I'm gonna say that. We were attending a Two-Face Baba concert, and Baba invited me to the stage, to where he was, and I was like, "Why is this? I'm here with my boyfriend at the time. Why is he calling me up to this stage? All these women around here, and he's calling me." I'm like, he doesn't want my man's trouble. He better just call somebody else. So I was reluctant to go up to the stage, and there was one of my husband's lady friends behind me, who was literally pushing me up to the stage, and I'm like, what is going on here? And so I get to the stage, and Baba extends his hands for me to grab my hands, and I said, okay, now he's grabbing my hands. He wants trouble today with my boyfriend at the time. And so he started singing African Queen. Yeah. And that happens to be a song that I really like. And so I turned around to smile at my husband, or my boyfriend at the time, because that's the song that I like, to see him down on his knees with a ring proposing to me. And it was the most beautiful thing I had ever experienced. It was romantic. It was out of the box. And I just can't believe he came up with that on his own. So
that's a wonderful one. I want to hear what my brother is saying here. Hold on. Let us hear it.
He said, I am his African queen.
Missy, a lot of African ladies actually like that song. And that song is one of the songs that actually made us a big fan of Two-Face Idibia. And I don't even know that my African American sisters, they are also loving the music. And you say it's one of your favorite. Wow. I give my brother a lot of credit for this, because I ain't gonna lie to you. I'm scared when it comes to proposing to a woman in public spaces. I don't know. We went on vacation recently, and I've been planning something for my wife and I. I'm working towards, by grace of God, our 20th wedding anniversary. So I've been thinking of, I really want to propose to this woman again. I want to do it again in a very big way. And I have somewhere in mind. I don't want to reveal it now. I don't want Real Farm to go and let her know. So when we went on vacation, I told my daughter that let us test. Let's see how your mama will react, because I promise I'm gonna propose to her again. And if I'm gonna do it, I want to know what's coming. So let's practice. So I told my daughter to record us, and I tried to propose to this woman. I was just trying to see her reaction. She took off.
I
She
saw that.
literally ran away. And my real fam, when the real fam sisters saw it, they were like, Uncle Ben, what do you expect? You are a traditional man. She was probably in shock that you're gonna go down like that. So I'm like, wow, this is why I'm not gonna do public proposal. But anyway, Missy, I'm so glad you guys have been married for 5 years now. I think you guys were married a year before we actually have the ceremony, right?
That's correct. Yes, we were married a whole year.
Oh,
Almost
yeah,
every day. And
a
I
whole year
wanted to
before
say,
then.
first of all, congratulations on almost 20 years. I just really celebrate, and I hope no one gets offended by this, but I really celebrate Black love because it's very beautiful. And I mean, and to celebrate 20 years, that is that's God. That's
Yeah,
wonderful.
actually, we're not even 20 yet. We are on our way to 16 now. But I'm
Um,
just foreseeing what's gonna happen when we get to 20, because I know I'm not going nowhere, and that girl, she ain't going nowhere. I don't
yes,
care. She ain't
Patrick.
going nowhere. We're gonna run through we're gonna run through everything together. All right, Missy, now let's get to the interesting part of this conversation. You
Oh wow.
found love. Yeah, you found love in an African man. There are still many sisters out there who are looking forward to finding their own husband. And for you being your friend for this long, one thing I've seen you not struggling with is having quality men gunning for you, even before you met my brother. And I want to know, what is it about you that attract these men? Because they what we're hearing outside now, what my younger sisters are telling me about the kind of men they are seeing right now, is not it's not great things that I would like to talk about, but I just wanted to hear from your own personal experience. What do you think is that thing that attract these men to you?
One, I think it is that I'm open minded. I think I'm open to other ideas, ideologies, cultures. I'm not stuck. It doesn't have to be my way or the highway. I'm open to experiencing new things. I always tell people I'll experience it once. At least if I like it, then wonderful. If I don't, okay. But I think being open minded, also I think being driven. So I've never been a woman looking for a man to come and take care of me. I've always been a woman looking for a man that we can grow together. We can come together and build together. Because if we build together, it's less likely that either one of us are going to want to tear it down. So I think that's a difference too. Um, Also, I am one that I'm going to have my significant other's back, no matter what. So I'm gonna lift him up. I'm gonna be his biggest cheerleader, and I think that was an attraction to a lot of people. To a lot of my past relationships is that they know that they were celebrated. I definitely believe in celebrating my significant other. Um, And I think those are some of the qualities they saw inside of me. And of course, I was educated. Um, I have degrees, and uh, I was prestigious. So I think that combination attracted. And I will say I've been blessed that I have had even though they're my exes, I've had good exes. Sometimes the chemistry is not there. Sometimes it just doesn't work out. But I honestly say that um, I had decent men in my past.
Hmm. Hmm. All right. Now, Africa. Um, I've heard a lot of sisters, especially my American sisters, says, "Oh, African men, they are this, they are that. They are cheat, they are not reliable." Would you say the same about African men?
Oh, Ben.
Come
So
on,
what I'm
sis.
saying is all men cheat. I'm not gonna say African men cheat. I'm gonna say white men cheat. I'm gonna say all men cheat, but at the same time, I'm gonna say all women cheat too. And there's no black women, white women. I think that people are people. We're all individuals. I cannot stand stereotypes. So I did not put stereotypes on African men. I took each person as an individual. You show me who you are, and then that's what I will believe. And so that's how I took people. That's how I take people today. You know, when I was in school, a lot of people judged me by other people's opinions. And that was one thing when I said, when I grow up, I'm not going to judge people off of other people's opinions. I'm going to see people for who they are. And I'm really glad that I'm like that, because um, a lot of times I'm attracted to the person who is not so popular, not so in the spotlight, and they usually end up being some of the greatest people that I've ever met. Even you, Ben. You are a wonderful friend. When I met you, I didn't know you from the community. I didn't know you as the community man. I knew you as Ben, and it proves to me that Ben, you and your wife been married for 16 years. You have a wonderful family, and it was a good choice. So that's why I don't make those judgments.
All right, that's a good one. A really good one. All right, so let's talk about culture and tradition. I'm glad that I was part of and I'm still part of your story, your journey into all these marriage and the challenges, as well as everything that comes with it. I'm glad that, thank you, by the way, for giving me the privilege to be the one who covered your traditional wedding and the white wedding. But I just wanted to ask, um, do you, how do I put this question right now? What is your perception of the African culture and tradition as a woman married to an African man?
You asked, what is my
How do you see the African culture and tradition? Like, I remember when you were gonna have your wedding, we did all these Cameroonian traditional rites and all of that. What were your expectations, and what do you think about it?
Well, I was super excited to be able to share my husband's culture with all of my friends and family, because as you know, I had been married previously, and I went and had that whole, the white wedding that we do here in America. But the thing about that I feel about our wedding is that um I just think, and my Americans are gonna probably get on me. I just think that growing up here, um, they almost teach us that's what we're looking for, this white wedding, to walk down the aisle and have this big show. And then after the show is over, they don't teach you that now it's time to put in the work, you know. And so a lot of kids, a lot of young women, young girls grow up to a fairy tale. And so when I decided that William and I was going to get married, I said, I do not want to do that fairy tale wedding again. I want to do something that has some meaning. And that's why I chose to do the traditional wedding with my husband, because that brought the families together. The families were involved, the community was involved. Everyone is standing before us to agree that they're going to help us stay in this marriage together. And I absolutely love that, because here in America, we really take marriage for granted. I mean, even me, I've been divorced, you know that. Um, you know, in the African culture, it's like, okay, it's not just you going to the courts and you're filing for a divorce. You're going to the families, you're discussing with the families, you're bringing the families together, you're bringing the community together. You have that support. When people
Yeah.
stand in your wedding in the African culture, they're saying we're here to support you. In my experience, when people stood together in my American wedding, they were there to be seen and to see what there was to see. And that I was not going to do that anymore. I said, no, that is the end of that, because, as you get older, you get wiser and more mature. And I realized that this time is it. So it needs to count. And I wanted to make it special. I wanted to make it mean something. And I just really enjoy sharing. That tradition is usually 3 days. We put it all in one day.
Mhm.
So it made for a very long day. But you will not believe my American friends, especially my American white friends, who was like, I had no idea. That was wonderful. That was beautiful. And I was so happy that they were exposed to the culture, because
Yeah.
I think, even, I've had the experience of Nigerian culture and now Cameroonian culture. And I just absolutely think that it is beautiful. And I just wish that us as Americans um, could have that here too, instead of just that white wedding that we look forward to getting dressed and dancing, and then that's it. So yeah,
Thank
it was
you.
important.
Yeah, thank you for sharing with us, Missy. Now, I know you have a show coming up tomorrow, and the title is Love Across Border. In fact, let me see if I can share some of the flyers. Okay. But before we get into that, Missy, I want to ask what are like three challenges you think a woman who's going to go into cross border marriage may likely face, in terms of drawing from your own personal experience as an American married to an African? What are like the three challenges they should prepare for?
I think the biggest one is going to be the communication challenge. Um, my husband's first language is French, so and my husband actually didn't learn English until he got here to the United States. And so the communication sometimes gets lost in translation. And if you're not a patient person, you will be set off quickly. Because I'm gonna give you an example. So I have a boutique where I sell my jewelry and purses, and I sell accessories. So
Mhm.
my wonderful husband, who thought he was really helping me out, I had a customer here, and she was looking through some of my jewelry, and my husband was like, "Yes, you should buy it. It's cheap. It's cheap. It's cheap." And I said,
Ah.
"No, no, 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 no. Don't say my stuff is cheap. Say it's affordable. It is not cheap. Cheap is not a good word." And he was so confused because he thought he was helping me. But I was like, "No, my stuff is not cheap. Don't say that." She was so upset that I kind of got on him a little bit. But that's just, communication, learning to be patient, be slow to speak. We have one mouth and two ears. We need to listen twice as much as we speak, because
Yeah.
a lot of times we have that. I mean, it's not gone. We still have sometimes that challenge. I'm gonna give you another one. In the Nigerian culture, they used to always tell me I was fat, and I'm like, what? You don't call a woman fat. Don't call me fat. And not knowing that, in the culture, it's not necessarily a negative thing. Sometimes
Yeah.
that they, many men that I dated was looking for that fat, and I took it as a negative. So you just really, one thing that burns me up, I watch these shows like 90 Day Fiance and things like that. The women go to other cultures, especially Africa, other countries, especially Africa, looking for a man to marry, but they don't take the time to learn the culture. And then they end up interpreting things wrong, taking things the wrong way, and fighting and looking pretty much a fool on TV. And I'm thinking to myself, before you jump and make the decision, you need to take the time to learn your possible fiance or future husband's culture and understand it a little bit before you jump with 2 feet in. And so that's why planning that cultural wedding was so wonderful for me, because I'm the one who dug into the culture and to see what things signify. Everything you do in a traditional wedding means something. It's not just an act. It has meaning behind it. So I took the time to study and understand what all these meanings were and why we did it this way and not that way. And it was just enlightening. And I wish more women would take the time to understand the culture, so that when you communicate, and then also understanding, take the time to understand, not just hear, but understand. Listen and understand is very important. That would be the first thing I would say.
All
The
right.
second
Thank
thing I would say is understand. It also has to do with understanding, but my husband has children back home. You are going to have to understand that there's going to be an amount of support that your husband is going to be expected to support back home. And if you're not ready for that, don't even go there, because that's going to be a fight that you're not going to win. So don't go there. That's the second thing. And the third thing I would say is everything is not going to look like you pictured it. So a lot of times, like I said, when we're growing up here in America, you have a vision of what marriage should look like. And when you're actually in the marriage, it actually don't look exactly as you had pictured it. And that's not a negative. That's just that a lot of times we can be rigid, and what we expect, that's what we want. And so we're not able to flow. And if you can't flow, don't go. because being married to my wonderful husband, it's been wonderful, but it does not look like what I had envisioned it to look like. And that's okay, because so many aspects is better than what I expected.
Right.
So be willing to work together, and and then make a decision to just, no matter what, we're gonna stay together. We're together.
We're gonna part you. Yeah. Yeah, thank you very much for sharing that with us, Missy, because I've seen several videos on TikTok. Some ladies married to African men, they were praising their husband, and some are like, hey, don't even dare try it. Don't try it. Don't go African. And then I'll be like, I knew a lot of African American sisters who got married to African men and they're enjoying their marriage, And by the way, per my own standard, I want to congratulate you for making it up to the 5 years mark. I usually said when two couples survive the first 5 years, oh my God, it means they are really into the marriage business and they want to make it work. So for you and my brother making it to 5 years, let me clap for you, all right? Missy. All right, all right. Now I got to recognize my own real fam. I see my baby Abby is here already. Sister Natu, Auntie Grace, everybody there in the building. You are welcome. Miriam, I see you. How you doing? The Rebuild Blueprint. Those are my wonderful sisters. Everybody, they are here. Uncle Dio, how you doing, sir? Sister Olakunbi. Olakunbi is actually dating a Yoruba man, Ondo man for that matter. You see, now I talk say we get wahala, but Sister Olakunbi is testifying now that yeah, Ondo men are romantic. You see, yeah. I got my brother, my brother that Chucky in the building. What's up, Chucky? How you doing, bro? All right, all right. So, Missy, let's talk about this show you got coming up tomorrow. Let me quickly share the flyer. I'm not gonna lie to you. I've watched like 3 shows from your channel, and I'm loving it. I enjoy the quality of guests that you have on. I enjoy the conversation. It's educating. It's refreshing. All right. So I just want to encourage you to continue doing what you're doing. Please don't give up. In this content creation journey, sometimes when you are not favored by the algorithm yet, it might feels like, oh, why am I doing this? People are not seeing my video or something. But I tell you now, my sister, don't even let that derail you. You have great content out there. People gonna find it, and I actually enjoy the fact that you are bringing people to share their personal life experience. And the people that come to your show, these are like professionals, career women and men. So, we're gonna talk about this briefly, and I just want everybody to please go and subscribe to my sister channel. The show is coming up tomorrow, 7 p.m. Central Standard Time. Don't be a stranger. We always support our own right here in the Real Fam, and we learn from each other. So tomorrow, Misty have this fantastic guest that is coming to share what his experience as a man who is also into this cross brother marriage. He's coming to share. you know, and Missy already gave me the background to the guest. I think that man really gonna have so much to share. In fact, I am looking forward to hearing what he got to tell people as a man, what his experiences were in marrying women from other culture and other nation. So that is one fantastic show. I expect everybody to please turn out and enjoy tomorrow. Okay, now let me quickly find your channel.
I will also
I
share a
want to
little
share.
bit more about mine. And I also want to give the audience, the guests, opportunity to ask questions, because I think that they will get to hear some interesting conversation.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, you want the guests to ask the demand some question, right? Because me, I already penned down my questions. I have a lot of questions I want to ask. It might sound crazy, but trust me, I first of all I wanted to ask, why are they coming for my sisters? I know that sounds like a crazy question, but I really want to ask. Anyway, guys, that is the link to Misty channel. Please subscribe and of course hit the notification bell so that you can join her live tomorrow as the special guest, Mr. Benjamin, shares his experience marrying to women who are from other culture. Okay. Now, Missy, would you say people should be apprehensive when it comes to cross-border marriages, even relationship? As someone who done that yourself.
I would not, because I don't want to share too much, but as I was married to an African before I married my current husband. And even though it didn't work, and honestly, I did say that was it. I said, no more. I will not marry an African again. That's what I said. And if I had stuck with that mindset, I would not be where I am today, and I would have missed out on an absolutely wonderful um, man, African man. So I always say, the sweet Nigerian nectar didn't work. I tried some Cameroonian cognac, and it tastes a little sweeter. So, so I'm going to enjoy this Cameroonian cognac. But the Nigerian nectar is still sweet, though.
You're trying to butter us now, right?
I will always have a
Oh,
place for Nigeria in my heart because I was literally raised by a Nigerian man. Um, my my sister married a Nigerian when I was literally 5 years old, and so he's been a part of my life for 42 years. There's no way that I will ever move away from the culture. That was the introduction to me to the culture. I always thought I would be married to a Nigerian man for the rest of my life, but that didn't work out, and it's okay because I went just across the border. I just went next door. I didn't go too far. I just went next door.
and you're right. Cameroonians are actually our brothers. We're together. Now I think we Nigerians we roll more with Cameroonians and Ghanaians, even though we have this subtle competition between us, trying to claim, "Oh, I'm better than you. You are better." But it's all love. It's all love. And I think deeply, if you consider your relationship with Nigerians and with Cameroonians, you're gonna see a lot of similarities.
Yes.
You're gonna see a lot of similarities because we are still African. Now, let's talk about food. How many African foods do you know?
Then you wouldn't believe I know lots of them. And even more so, you wouldn't believe that my children know lots of them and they ask for them. In fact, weekly, my kids love, their very favorite is okra soup. My kids love okra soup. My
Oh
kids
yeah.
love soup. My kids love rice and stew. One of my favorites is peanut butter soup. We love peanut. I mean, I'm telling you, I don't only eat it, I make it. And what's funny, I'm gonna tell you a funny story is that because I
Did you
was
say
raised by
peanut butter
Nigerian,
soup?
what's
Missy?
that?
Did you say peanut butter soup?
Absolutely,
Oh wow, I
absolutely.
haven't heard that before. Oh, I think I know the soup you're talking about. Any Igbo people in the building, there's this soup they used to cook with granuts. I
Yes,
think that should be the one you're describing because granite is peanut butter here, right?
yes.
Peanut butter is granite now. Okay. I think I know that soup. Yeah, go ahead, please.
And that's one of my absolute favorites. And so my husband used to always he would always eat my food because I would cook it until one day he finally said, "You cook like Nigerian."
Oh,
He said, because they eat the same similar food, but they just prepare it a little bit different. And so when he was so nice, he didn't say it for years. Literally, he literally just told me last year that he likes the food, but he wanted me to cook it more like the Cameroonians. And so I've modified it to make him happy. But it, I learned my cooking came from my brother-in-law. He taught me how to cook all those delicious dishes.
mm. So, would you advise any American lady getting married to an African? Would you advise them to learn how to cook African foods, African delicacies? Or
Absolutely. I think that was the way I got to my husband's heart. It was when he realized that
ah,
he didn't have to teach me how to cook all of those. dishes that I already knew. So yes, I
Yeah.
definitely feel like I won my husband over knowing how to cook African dishes. And even more so that my
Mm.
children already love the food. So it's not like I had to, introduce it to them. They were already very familiar with it.
Okay, I see. Now, let me ask you some question. We might actually do some boost now. Okay. Do you believe that a man must cook? Take your time now. Take your time now, Missy.
It's funny that you say that because I always make fun of my husband because when we were dating, my husband would cook for me. And I was so surprised that um, he knew how to cook. I was surprised that he knew how to cook. But the moment that we got married, it's like he got amnesia and forgot how to cook. And so I probably in the last 5 years, he's probably cooked maybe 2 or 3 times. And I said, before we got married, you used to woo me, wine me, and dine me, bring me over with your delicious food. All of a
Mhm.
sudden, it seems like you don't remember what the kitchen looked like. What's going on?
Okay, I can explain that. Okay, you see, as Africans, we are the head of the family. We are not raised to cook for our wife. And I know many sisters still struggle with that. And this is not African American women thing. No, generally, even in our African community, a lot of sisters still struggle, especially this Gen Z and Gen Millennium, Gen whatever. They struggle. They
Yeah.
struggle to understand that as African men, we are not raised to cook for our wives, to cook for women, because we are the head. Our job is to provide and protect. But lately, women are like, I'm working, you're working. Where you come back. Before I come back, you go to the kitchen, you prepare dinner and all that. Do you believe in that a man should go to work, come back, enter the kitchen and cook?
Well, I may have an unpopular opinion today, but what I feel is in this world today that there should be it definitely should be shared responsibility. And the reason why I say that is I'm gonna give myself as an example. I go to work and don't come home until 5:30, 6 o'clock at night. And if my husband's already home, it would be nice for him to go ahead and start fixing dinner because of the children. We don't want the children to eat terribly late and get into bed with full stomachs and things like that. So if the husband's home, he can share that responsibility and vice versa. Whoever's home can, kind of take up some of that. It's not a burden. I was going to say some of that burden. It's not a burden because I enjoy cooking for my family, but when you get home so late, sometimes it's nice to not have the kids waiting for you to cook, come home, by 6 o'clock and then start cooking and eating by 7:30 bed. It's just a little late. But I might have the unpopular opinion, but I think that it's okay for the husband and wife to share in that responsibility. But
You
with
call
saying, I will
cooking.
say
Hold
that
on,
the
Missy, hold on. Did you just call cooking a responsibility for a man? Because you said they should share the responsibility.
okay, maybe I mean it's not it's a I enjoy cooking, so I don't know if I should call it a responsibility because I enjoy
Okay.
cooking for my
Please don't say responsibility is not responsibility, because I see my sisters in the chat right now. They're trying to start throwing shade. We ain't gonna do that. Let me speak my American English. We ain't gonna do that, y'all. We ain't gonna do that.
but yeah, I think that the home will I think if we get out of a lot of these roles per se,
Mhm.
I think that the home will this is not the same world as it was. This world requires two incomes because things are expensive. Life is not what it used to be. You can't really live off of one income anymore. Now, if a woman was home all day and the husband was the breadwinner, was going out and working, and the only one who was coming back home. Yes, the wife would need to take care of the meals solely and allow the husband to come home and rest. That's what I feel. But because today there's two incomes required in the home, we're both working, we're both striving to build our empire together, both taking responsibility and taking care of dinner. It shouldn't be a problem. It
Oh,
should be a joy. And you know what I do is I set my Alexa to play happy music when I come home to cook. And what ends up happening is my husband sits at the bar and we have a conversation. We do if I want him to cut the onions or cut the peppers for me, I may be cooking, but we're doing it together, and that keeps us connected. And that's one thing I always say is that having that connection, keeping connected is so important in that relationship. And because we're always on the go, we're always busy working and doing this and going to this event and things like that. If we stay connected, even just with that, it's something special. It keeps you connected.
I'm not gonna stay long on this topic. I don't like the way it's going right now. The sisters are like, thank you, Missy, thank you, Missy. No, a man is not supposed to cook. Oh God, where is our power? What makes us the husband? Missy, please. All right. Ladies and gentlemen, as we're gonna be rounding up, let's go into some Q&A. Missy, if you're ready for this, I'm ready. Missy, of course, you are free to decline in answering some questions, and you can go ahead and answer them if you choose to. This is just part of the fun stuff that we do here. So let's have some Q&A for the next 20 minutes. If you have any question for Missy, my Missy can address it. We can go right together. So feel free. Missy is part of the Rule Fam, and the coolest part is she's my friend, my Wahala American sister. First off, Missy, we got our papi in the building. This is Mr. Dyer, all the way from Nigeria. Shout out to you, cool mama. Shout out to Elizabeth, Sarumi, Auntie Grace. How are you guys doing? Thank you, everybody. Missy, we got Uncle Dyer in the building, all the way from Nigeria. And I don't know what Uncle Dyer want to say, but I yield the floor to Uncle Dyer right now. Uncle Dyer, welcome, sir.
Thank you very much, Uncle Beno, and thank you, at Missy. I'm so happy from all the things you've been saying so far. I'm really impressed because it's not really that common to see an American woman blending well with an African traditional man, as we normally say it. And to me, you seem to be making the best of it all, and I'm so happy that you have been keeping it on like this. And this is something that I would have loved to see mostly in our African women also, married to African man. But unfortunately, emancipation and liberation and all is taking a toll on that. And many of them sometimes seem not to really understand the culture, like you, being an American, have done. You learn the culture and you're like practicing it to it. It will surprise you that many Africans are trying to get out of the same thing that you are getting into. So it's just so strange. Anyway, my question, I have a question for you. And my question is just that if you look at it now, for any American lady or that wants to marry an African man, Uncle Ben asked that question earlier on, that what are the three things that you think they need to be aware of? And you mentioned two things. You said they have to learn the culture and that they have to understand the language, that is the communication, which to me is great.
Hello, Uncle
But
Dyer.
I'm looking at the area of this
Uncle Dyer,
African.
we missed you after you mentioned the first one.
Okay, the first one was, you said that they have to learn the language of communication, that is trying to like understand each other. And second point that you raised was that you have to learn the culture of your husband, which you have done very well. But my major concern now is that, you can never take Africanism out of an African man. but you have been able to manage it so well. I want to know, what are the secrets when that Africanism comes out once in a while? How do you cope with it? Thank you.
Ooh. Wow. That is a good question because I'm married to an only boy and the man of the house, and they actually call him grandpa. No one does anything back home until they ask grandpa if it's okay with him. So my husband's a very strong African man. And we do run into that because the problem is I was a single mom for a lot of years. So I was the queen of my castle. And so my husband is definitely the king of his castle. So now you brought together, and even though I was the queen, I was also the acting king. So I had both roles. I was the king and the queen of my castle. So now I have a king coming into my castle. And now I have to relinquish some of those, things that I was doing. And it was not easy. Excuse me, I haven't aced it yet. It's a work in progress because at 40, I already told my age, in my late 40s, I was raised here in America. I was a single mom, so I didn't answer to anyone. And so one issue that we used to run into is that I was in the habit of just getting up and leaving the house and not telling someone where I was going. Well, my husband had a big issue with that. And we would bump heads. And so that's an example of him being the man of the house. He wants to know where his wife is going. And so it just takes, for me, I always ask myself, is the sacrifice worth the reward? That's everything I do. That's how I see things. So it's the sacrifice of submitting to my husband and, making him happy by letting him know where I'm going. Is it worth the reward of peace in my house and connection and not disconnect? And most of the time, 99% of the time, the sacrifice is worth the reward. So I choose to submit and allow my husband to lead. And that's how I get past that. I don't always get it right. I'm not going to sit here and act like I get it right 100% of the time because I do not. It's a process. And I always tell my husband, because the way I speak sometimes, I speak with passion. And sometimes he interprets that passion as disrespect. And I had to understand that my husband being the head of his home, people didn't talk to him like that. And even though I'm not trying to disrespect him, it's a matter of explaining to him, hey, this is not meant to be disrespect. I'm just speaking with passion. And also take a note of my tone and just learn to bring it down and use the language, use the tones that allows him to still feel that he is the head, he is the man. And I'm not trying to cut him down, because that's the one thing I don't want to do. I always want to lift my husband up. I do not want to cut him down. I do not want him to feel less than, because one thing, especially in this economic climate today, Africans and all immigrants are having, are struggling even just to make it day by day. When my husband leaves home, I'm always worried that is he going to be okay when he comes back home. So I don't want to put extra stress on my husband by, fighting him to be the head of the house. I want to be his partner, and I want to keep lifting him up. And I think when I do that, naturally there comes a mutual respect for each other. Because if he feels respected, he's naturally going to extend that back to me. And that's how we get past it.
Thank you, Missy, for your honesty. At least everybody can attest to what you're saying in the comment. My Sissy said, when you have been independent for a long time, it's not easy to let go of the reins. Well done, Missy. I have a question of my own. Please, if you have any question, drop it in the chat, or you can come into the studio. You are welcome. Drop the question. Let us address it. Okay. All right. I see a question is coming from Dachoki. okay. But just to support what Missy said right now, my own question before we get out here will be to ask Missy, why do women act like that when they are with their man? Just because they be free for a long time, they find it so difficult to tell the man where they are going, their movement, what they want to do. Because I experienced the same thing with my wife. My wife was in America for 5 years before I joined her. And when I come over here, we fought for it took us almost 6 months to 1 year to solve this problem of not reporting. We fought over overtime. That time she used to work a lot of overtime. She would just go to work and stay and work. And I'll be like, I am the head. I am the husband. You have to tell me. So I don't know why women do that. Why do you guys do that?
It's not intentional.
Man, where you going?
It's not intentional. Like I said, I was a single parent for probably about 11 years. And so that's over a decade that I didn't have to tell anybody where I'm going. So the thing is, a man shouldn't expect change to happen overnight, because even the man himself cannot change overnight. So what my philosophy in life is, don't put expectations on someone that you can't handle yourself. So it's just a matter of, I would always remind my husband, hey, remember, I was a single parent for a long time before you came. I didn't have to tell someone where I was going. It's not that we hate doing it. It's just a matter of getting in that routine to start doing it. Because personally, I would love my husband to know where I'm going because of safety. In this world today, we need to know where we're going because of safety reasons. And my family, actually, now we have Life 360 on all of our phones. So we know where everyone is at every moment of the day. And I actually ran into some Africans who told my husband, oh, you doing what your wife wants you to do? And my husband was like, no, I was the one who suggested it. So I was so happy that he told him that, because he thought that this particular person thought I was trying to keep track of my husband, and it was not true. It was just that for safety reasons, we all keep track of each other. And
oh my
I'm
God.
not following my husband to know where he is every second of the day. In fact, I still call my husband and I ask him, babe, where are you? He's like, you don't see me on 360? I'm like, I'm not paying attention to that, because when you have that access, you don't feel like you need it, because it's just like the same thing when a man has his phone. If you don't crucify me, but if a woman has the passcode to a man's phone, more than likely she's never gonna look in it, because she knows she has that access. But when a man is like, no, I'm not giving it to you, then a woman becomes interested and say, okay, what is it that you're hiding in that phone? So that's the same thing with the 360. I never look at it until it's like, oh, it's 8, 9 o'clock at night. I'm kind of getting worried. Let me see where my husband is.
Thank you, Missy. I agree with what you say right there, because it actually happened. My phone, computer, everything, my wife, my children, they have access to everything. And then I discovered that she don't even come close to my phone. It's like, I thought you're supposed to be crawling around, but ever since she find out, like, I don't care, you want my phone, take it, you want computer, take it, and all of that, my wife don't even bother about it no more. So I agree with that thing you said, that once a woman have access, sometimes they just don't really worried that much about what's going on with you. All right, my brother that Chucky have a very valuable question here. What's up, Sister Yinkus Pepe? Sister Yinka in the building. So Chucky has a great question here. We've been having this conversation for it pops up on our show 2 weeks in a row now. Eye-henning women. In fact, I'm going to have my sister, Honey Babe, on Friday. We're going to go over something similar to this. We're going to talk about women who are working in the corporate world and how they are able to manage their relationship and their job and all of that, and it still boils down to women earning more than men these days. So you can choose to answer this question or you can choose not to answer it, but if you would like to share with us, it will go a long way. And I think the emphasis here from the question Chucky is asking is on respecting him. So Chucky asked, who was the high earner in the house, and if it was you, did you respect him? You want to
So
answer it?
yeah, sure. Because the first response is no matter what, I'm gonna always show my husband respect. That's first and foremost. Rather I make more money or him. It's not about making more money because today I may be the earner. Tomorrow he may be. But if my husband is, because my husband is a business owner. Sometimes business is up, sometimes it's down. You know,
Yeah.
that's the thing about owning your own business. So sometimes I have to carry the house. It doesn't make me respect my husband any less because my husband is he is the heart. Like I told Ben last time, my husband can fit 8 days in a week. That's how much he works. There's not 7 days in a week for him. There's 8 days because I cannot understand how he works so hard. And that in itself is respect. And so even if today he's not bringing he's not bringing in as much as I am, I'm still going to respect him because one, he's my husband. If I don't respect him, I feel like that's going to affect his job performance. And so if I'm sending him out of the house as an unrespected man, then where is he going to get motivated to make more money, to do better? If he's going to look at it like, oh, my wife don't respect me, I'm miserable at home, and he's not going to do well. So you have to continue to respect and be your husband's biggest cheerleader rather. And I'm just going to be honest, when my husband wasn't making as much money, I praised him more. I said, thank you, baby. You are so wonderful. You're such a wonderful technician. I don't know what I would do if I wasn't with you. You know, like you are what I prayed for God about. And that motivates him to do the best and be the best he can be. And I can see it. And sometimes I laugh because I watch him. It's like he skips off, you know, knowing that his wife is supporting him, even though she's the one who's carrying the house. Now, it can still bring contention in the home because sometimes it's the husband who feels less than, and he deflects it onto the wife. That's my experience. And
Yeah.
so I always have to remind him that no matter what, I love you. I know that you're doing the best you can. And then it motivates him to do better.
Thank you, Missy. Thank you, Missy. Um, we still have some more questions. Please, if you have any question, please drop them. Missy can address it for us. Thank you, Missy, for answering that question about the high earned woman, because this is really a bigger problem for us as African men. We still have a lot of brothers that I don't know, maybe I should say they feel intimidated. They walk around with low self-esteem if they are married to a woman who out earned them. And I'm glad you actually broke that down very well. For those who don't know, Missy has a YouTube channel. Missy is all about empowering women, single women out there, um, single mothers, those who are struggling, those who are still trying to navigate their way around some of the issues with dealing with children, job, and all of that. Missy is doing a fantastic job in that regard. So please, I'm going to continue to share Missy YouTube channel across our platform. Please subscribe to Missy's channel, and always join her when she's live, or if she shared any video, please join her. Now I'm gonna give you a tip. I don't know who may need this. You know how many times I've told you guys here that I don't have a lot of friends, but I have quality friends, and I pick my friends. Let me emphasize pick. I select those I choose as friends. If I consider you my friends, just know you bring something bigger to the table. Yeah, I've always said this. One of my main principle is life is a game you play to win. And one of the way you get ahead in life is by knowing people who know stuff. People who can link you up. Okay? This lady right here, I'm saying it even I don't want to go into her story, but she already shared with you guys. She's been a single mom for 11 years. She's been married once before her current husband. I was there all through because she's my true sister, my true friend. This lady, Missy, right here. I'm still gonna drag the other of my sweet sister down here. I don't know that one busy like her, but I'm bringing her down here to Tio. These are the ladies that actually showed me way in America. Mrs. Abisonte, as you say, and so like Missy, Missy know what's up as far as this Texas is concerned. Let me say this in Nigerian Palace. Missy Sabi Road. If you live in Texas and you can't figure some shit out, if you call Missy, just the way she's talking so sweet now, you just say, hey, you just have to go to this office. You just have to go there, and you'll be like, I've been in this country for how long? I don't know this. Missy, God bless you for being who you are. God bless you for. I've lost count of how many times you've showed up and helped a lot of people. I'm really, really proud of you. You are one of those sisters that I never regretted being a friend of. And God bless you so much for everything you've showed me, for the guidance and everything. I just like the fact that I can call you and you can just, even if you are busy, sometimes when you are on site, you just be, hey, Ben, I'm busy right now. Can I call you back? And then you call me back and then you walk me through. I also like the fact that when I was figuring a lot of shit out, my wife would be like, why don't you call me? See, call your friend now. Call your friend now. And it gives me joy, because I know the woman I'm married to, and I know for her to have accepted you like that, like, oh, this is my husband friend. If my husband called her, so please, I'm saying this for those of you who might go to Missy channel. Please, if you live in America, if you are a single mom and you are still dealing with a lot of stuff, you can always reach out to Missy. She has a very good heart. She helps. One thing Missy know how to do best is to link you or show you where you can go. I will lay Mrs. Abi organization, I beg. Now, having said that, I wanted to emphasize something again, Missy. I don't know. Okay, maybe I'll come to that after I take this question from Cece. I think I saw one question from Cece. Okay, so let me quickly read this and then I'll come back to that. Cece said, Uncle Beno, I wanted to ask Missy, how did your husband handle stepping into a father role with your child from a previous relationship? What challenges did you both face along the way? Oh, this is a really good one. This is a good one. Missy, you want to quickly explain this?
So that, because my kids were a little bit older, that was a challenge. Because my oldest daughter at the time was 14. And then my kids are about 3 years apart. So because they were a little bit older, it was a challenge. But what's funny is, first, it was a challenge. It was an adjustment. And so my husband did have complaints, especially with, one of my children. But, I had to really explain to him that it was also hard for me to get breakthrough with that particular child. So just continue to reassure him, make sure that he knows that he is part of the household. That was one thing when the kids initially didn't take him as that father figure, because you have to understand that I had guys come into my life before. So children aren't going to just welcome this man in just like I did. They're going to test him out. They're going to take time to know who is this man, and they're going to take time to know if he's going to stay around. Because if he's not going to stay around, then the kids, they're not going to want to invest anything into him. So wow. My husband had a challenge with that. And what I had to do was constantly reassure him when the kids would ask me questions, I would always have to bring my husband into it. So if my child came and said, "Hey, can I have a sleepover?" I would say, "We need to talk with," we called him Mr. William. "We need to talk to Mr. William about that." So always including him in the decisions and letting the children realize that he's part of this decision. It's not just me anymore. So you're not just asking me. Me and Mr. William have to be in agreement with whatever this thing is you're asking. And to be honest, the most beautiful thing in our home that has happened thus far was that my husband actually bought my oldest child her first car. And so when he brought it to her, she was shocked. Until today, those two have a relationship outside of me. When she needs something or when she just want to talk and blow off steam, she'll call him before she calls me. And I'm like, "Wait a minute, I'm your mother, or you supposed to call me?" I'm like, I'm mama. And so I think it's a beautiful thing, but it came with its challenges. So I would just always say, make sure that your husband know he's included in the decision making when it comes to the children. And also, I want to share something with you that was really special. Ben didn't talk about it, but at my wedding, my son's dad was actually in our wedding. My son's dad came and made a speech saying that he looks forward to raising our son together with my husband. And that was significant for him because it made him realize that he had the support of the son's dad. And a lot of people were amazed that I would allow that to happen and that he would allow that to happen. But at the end of the day, it makes it where you have two men who have the same goal, which is to raise my son to be the best man that he can be. So.
Yeah. Thank you, Missy. I don't like diving deep into my guest background, except if they wanted to share. And what Missy said is true. I was there. I was the official videographer and photographer at their wedding. And when we got to that segment, when the boy's dad came and made a speech, I'm like, Lord, please. Oh, God, please. Don't let this go south, because I'm going to be honest with you. And it's one of the reasons I respect Brother William a lot. I give him a lot of respect. Despite the fact that he's a very calm and reserved African brother, I love how he conducted himself, because that day I was praying. I'm like, Jesus, I didn't see it coming. Usually I'll tell my client, tell me everything we are covering so that I'll know what we are doing. But that one, I didn't see it coming. And when your son's father came up and made a speech, and I'm like, God, please, please, please. And then I saw you, I look at you, and I look at Uncle William, and I quickly realized that, it's like both of you knew this was going to happen. So then I felt relaxed a little bit. And then when he went in there, shake him and hug him, I'm like, damn, bro, he's ready for this. He's ready to go all the way, man. And everybody was kind of happy, clapping, sharing. That's a really good one, because, and I'm glad you shared that with us, because I remember 2 days ago and yesterday, I shared something with our sisters here. I said they should pray for a man to find them, because if your man is the one looking for you and he finds you, everything that seems negative about you, it's probably going to be what the man is enjoying. The man will accept you, he will accept your children, he will accept even your ex. I don't know if any of you remember, I said that here. When a man truly loves you and you are the answer to his prayer, all your shortcomings are no shortcomings, so it's not big deal. You people will talk over it and you get over it. So that is a good one. And thank you, Sisi, for asking that question, because these are some of the challenges single mothers are facing right now. They find love all the time, but you see that the kids are not accepting the man, or the man just don't know how to conduct himself around the kids. And I think maybe in one of your show, I may have to collaborate with you, because I have a lot of single sisters too who are amazing people, and they are still looking for husbands. So we can have more conversations surrounding all this, because I know it will benefit them. Now, there is another question real quick from Auntie Grace. This one is not too much, but let's see. Auntie Grace said, well done, Missy. As a woman who was in charge of herself, did you have to move in with your husband or vice versa? Was there any problem with that? Now she's asking about accommodation here. Did your husband move in with you, or did you move in with your husband, or did you both move into a different place?
So that's a good question. When I met my husband, I had my own home, and he also had his own home. And so at the time, his home, we had some crazy things going on in the Austin area with homes and people coming from California and buying homes up under people. So it was a crazy situation. So ultimately, he ended up moving into my house, but that we had the agreement that that was going to be short-lived and that we were going to build together. So we built our home, like literally from the ground up, we built our home together.
Thank you, Missy. Oh, thank you, Missy. Thank you, Auntie Grace, for asking that question. The reason why I'm excited about your answer and the question is because we had this conversation on my sister, Dr. Adama show, I think about 3 weeks ago. And this was the question, that men moving into women's house, and I was the opinion that majority of African men will not move into a woman's house, and if they move into a woman's house, it's just going to be temporary. That we still have to move and get our own place. Oh, my sisters here, they almost roast my butt. Like, no, what is wrong? You can stay, you have to stay. And I'm glad you're saying it right now. Yes, because I knew your home. I know you've always have your own home, beautiful home. You set up everything, your big garden and all of that. And yet, you and my brother, you bought a new home. And that's what I'm talking about, because it is un-African. So please listen, sisters. Many African brothers, we don't have problem with most of the things you wanted. We don't have problem with you out earning, with you making the dough. We don't have problem with a lot of things. But there are some things that culturally we can't accept. It's like a slap on our face. How could you move into a woman's house? It's okay, you move in temporary, maybe 1 year, 2 years, top. You both move into your own place so that you feel like a man. I know Sisi gonna start arguing with me now, but I ain't gonna go into that. Yes, so see Biba. Biba say you be taking it as a personal win. Yes, my brotherhood, we won. Yes. All right. Uncle Patrick is in the building. Missy, I know you are still getting to know our community gradually, but don't worry, this is Real Fam. Everybody here, they are highly responsible people. You know, these are respectful people. I respect all of them because I know they are people of timber and caliber. Now, Uncle Patrick, you're going to be hearing me talking about Uncle Patrick, Uncle Dayo, my Chucky, Uncle Emeka, and my brother Samolu. We have a lot of brothers here anyway. So, but Uncle Patrick is one of our elders, uncle in the house, who help us sort out many of the argument that we usually have going. And Uncle Patrick is asking this question. Uncle Patrick said, Missy, please explain more about communication, about you and your husband in terms of phonetic and cultural meaning of English words. You know, you were addressing this earlier when you said you made an example that somebody came into your store and your husband was like, hey, buy it, it's cheap. And you are like, no, it's not cheap. Now, I think Uncle Patrick just wanted to know how you guys communicate, because I know American accent is still, tomorrow, I'm still struggling with it. So how do you guys do it as a couple in cross-border marriage?
So it's a little bit different for me because you have to remember, I've been listening to an accent since I was 5 years old. So my ear is a little more tuned. So I don't have such the hard time. Even I understand my husband perfectly, and he speaks French. And it's just, I'm a little different. I may not be the best to answer that question just because my ears is already tuned to an accent. In fact, I told my husband if he didn't have that accent, we probably wouldn't have gotten married. so I'm a little bit more in tune. But the thing is just if there is something that you want, something that you really want, you will be patient enough to get it. And so one thing that I knew ruined past relationships was the bad communication, the lack of communication. And I knew that going into this marriage that I was going to have to work on communicating even more because my husband's first language was French. He didn't learn English until he got here, which he had only been here maybe about 4 years when we met. And so he was still heavy French, but it wasn't really an issue for me because one, I have the patience to hear the accent. And what's also something that I learned was because a lot of times my husband will talk to someone and when they speak to him, he doesn't hear what they're saying. Like, what did they say? He'll have to ask me. I'll literally repeat the exact thing to him and he hears it. He understands it when it comes from me because I'm taking my time. I'm speaking slower and allowing him time to, because you remember he's translating from English to French and then French back to English to reply. So you really have to exercise a lot of patience. And if you really want it, and my goal was to communicate better this time around because the communication sucked in my previous relationships. And I saw how much it sucked through there. I went to counseling and things like that. And so I just had a goal that I was going to make sure that I learned to communicate and not only learn to communicate on my husband's level, learn to communicate in a way where he can understand. So it takes work. It definitely takes the work. But like I said, I always ask myself, is the sacrifice worth the reward? And it absolutely is, because if we can communicate well, then we'll get along better. I won't take things wrong as I used to, because when we first got married, I still was in a place where some things he would say I would take the wrong way. But then I had to understand that he's interpreting what he's saying from one language to another and then back to that language. And sometimes just naturally understanding some things can get lost in translation. None of us are perfect. I don't ever say everything the right way as well. Sometimes I lose my words too. So the same grace that you want from someone, you need to be able to give. And that's how I see communication.
Thank you for clarifying that. Actually, communication barrier is a bigger issue in cross-border marriages, and I think it still remains one of the things that is breaking those marriages, and especially Americans. Oh, Misty, Americans, you Americans, you have different meaning to almost everything. Even simple English words mean something else. I remember when I started working with one older woman, and the woman, she told me her age, that, oh, did you know when I crossed 60, I was like, man, I made it to 60. And I'm like, oh, you're 60? Wow, you are an old woman. Jesus.
That didn't go well, right?
Oh, Misty, she gave me my first baptism of fire at work. She's like, how dare you say that I'm old? How dare you? I'm like, no. I mean, and then my accent was terrible, really, really terrible at the time. So I was like, no, not be waiting. I mean, be that. I mean, say you be senior, you are senior. When I say you are senior, it got escalated again, because when you say somebody is senior here in America, you are talking about people who are really old and should be like in nursing home or something, or like they are in their 70s, 80s. Those are the ones they call seniors here in America. Am I right?
Absolutely. I actually saw that on a show where the husband called, because the wife was older than the husband, he called her a senior, and she got upset. And that's why I said those type of things just really irritate me, because you have to take time to get to know the culture.
Oh, geez, it
Take
was
that.
crazy. So, thank you for explaining that. So, to all the sisters who are Americans may end up marrying African, you need to understand that many of us Africans, like especially if that person is from Nigeria, we grew up learning British English, and also we really don't attach too much sentiment to some words, and we joke a lot. As Nigerians, we joke a lot. If you are following Nigerians on social media, you definitely have seen that almost everything is cruise for us. So until we got here, that's where we know that everything in America is sensitive. So thank you, Missy. We're running out of time gradually now, but my brother Chucky have this question. After this, we're just going to take maybe one more question and we'll wrap it up. So Chucky said, question for Missy. Nigeria has a culture which tribal marriage from the same tribe is maybe a must for parents. That is, in Nigeria, for instance, a lot of parents want their children to be married from the same culture. That's what he's saying on the first part there. So he now said, now, how did you adapt to the challenges from your culture and the African culture? You get that?
I do. The thing is that because my father passed away when I was 8 years old. So my brother-in-law was already in place by then since I was 5. So when my father passed away, I was essentially raised by an African man. So I grew up learning a lot of the culture. And so that's why I say I'm a little bit different, because I've been exposed to culture for 42 years. So I know that is something. Even with my husband, culture, he's a Balemiki man,
Oh,
and
yeah. Dominique from Cameroon.
yes,
Yeah.
a lot of
Oh,
times they marry.
Misty, you really learned a lot. Go ahead, please.
That's why I said I really studied the culture. I studied the Nigerian culture as well. I studied the Cameroon, and women who are going who do decide that they want to go and marry into another culture. I just think it's essential. There should be classes. It should be a mandatory. You have to take a cultural class before you marry someone from another culture, not just Africa, any culture, to learn about that person's background, because I do know how important it is in a lot of cultures that they do marry from, like you said, the same tribe or from the same place. But for me, I think that is so limiting, because if my husband would have only stuck with marrying a Balimiki wife, then look, he wouldn't have had the pleasure to enjoy marriage with me. So for me, I think it's important to take those. For me, those are blinders. I know people. My husband was married to a Balimiki woman, and that marriage is no longer. He's married to me now. So I don't think that marrying from the same tribe equals the success of the marriage. I think that we really need to stop looking at that and open our minds to be open to marry outside of our race. You can have a preference. I think it's okay to have a preference, because me, growing up being around Africans, I had a preference to marry an African man, and that's what I did. But it was a preference. It wasn't a must. So I was blessed that I did, ultimately end up with my husband, my Cameroonian cognac today.
Yeah, Cameroonian cognac. Okay, I hear that. And you'll be calling him dad from the one. I think from the moment you introduce him to me, that's how you usually call him. Hey Ben, give my cognac, and I'll be like, Missy, come on, Missy, come on. That's a good one. I hope our community, we have learned one or two things from having you here today. God bless you, Missy. I saw this from Sister Yinkus, and I just quickly want to just explain it briefly. I know Sisi and some sisters were struggling to actually understand this. Sister Yinka said, in Yoruba land, they say if a man dies in a woman's house, his body is passed out through the window. And that is 100% correct. You know, I keep telling you, Gen Zs and millennials, you guys don't know tradition. Y'all don't respect tradition. Una no know nothing about tradition and culture. It is an abomination for a man to die in a woman's house. You get it? So it's either you marry that man, especially if it's a Yoruba man, the one of the way you can at least overcome that is you put him on the lease. So that way the house become his house too. But if you're not going to do that, then both of you have to move out. You have to rent somewhere else. It is against our culture and tradition for a man to live in a woman's house. You live there forever. Who get the house? The woman is your husband. You are the wife. That's what it means. I'm sorry. And that is why we were raised to work hard and work harder to make sure we can actually provide all we can in order to earn that title of a married man. So, any sisters or brothers who struggle with this, please just know that about Yoruba men. And if you are currently dating or you're about to marry a Yoruba man and you are planning to have him come live with you as a woman, don't worry, we are in the Western world. Some of them are moving and say, no problem, they will stay there forever. But I tell you, dude may be struggling with that idea that I am living in a woman's house, because it simply means you are a nobody. You are nothing. You can't speak when real men are talking. That is what it means. I'm sorry. Because real men don't live in a woman's house. No verse. I just have to say it. Now, Missy, thank you very much. I got to let you go now, but I still want to show our people what is coming up tomorrow on your platform. But help me answer this real quick, Missy. I don't want you to even go into details, but I just wanted to give you your credit. I saw the level of support you give to my brother, how you bring all your professionalism, and he brought all his experiences and everything into starting the company, and the way the company grew. Wow. I don't even know the magnitude of how far he has grown, how far the business has grown, until I needed his services and his schedule was all booked up. And I'm like, wow.
Yeah.
Wow. You see, I'm saying that because when I say something on this platform, it might sound like I am exaggerating, but God knows I'm speaking from the depth of my heart. I've told brothers who listen on this platform that when you are married to a woman, be faithful to that woman, treat her right. You're going to have your issues, talk about it, let it go, but make sure you take care of your woman, because once your woman is happy, things will become way easier for you. Where other men struggles, you will not struggle. And I keep telling people this from the experiences of what I have learned from other people's relationship. So, Missy, what I just wanted to ask is this. When you were married and then you have your wedding a year after you are both legally married, and even before the wedding, after you were legally married, before the wedding, Uncle Williams already started his business and you have been supporting. What I wanted to ask is, what gives you that confidence that if I go all in and support my husband, he's not going to betray me? He's a good man and he's going to make sure this work out well. Because a lot of women have supported men in the past, and it turns out that those men are kind of really, really cuckoo. But what do you see? Can you share what you see that give you that courage that, you know what, baby, we're doing this and I know it's going to work? What is that thing that urged you to go on?
I'm gonna answer this quickly, but then I definitely have to go because I have another call. But
Yeah.
what I would say is this: I've been married before. I went into the marriage halfway. I made it a point. I made it up in my mind that no matter what, I'm coming into this marriage 100%. I'm not going to hold anything back. Yes, there is that fear of betrayal. There is that fear that, he could, I could help him build and then he could leave me. There's always those thoughts. But the one thing about my marriage is I went into it on prayer. I said, I really sought the face of God and said, is this the man I'm supposed to marry? And so many things fell in place. And by listening and being still and hearing the voice of God, it gave me security. And it lets me know, like, no matter what he does, I can't worry about that. I have to be focused on me. I have to continue to work on me and I have to continue to grow. So I can't worry about if I support him 100%, will he leave me? I can't worry about that because if I only put half of myself into the marriage, then we're only going to get half of the potential of where the marriage can go. So I knew I had to put 100% in the marriage so that we can grow 100%. And it's not 50-50 in a marriage. It's 100 and 100. And even if my husband may lack, which he doesn't, he makes just as many sacrifices as I do. It's just the sacrifices don't look the same. Don't expect them to look the same because where I sacrifice here, he may sacrifice here. So don't compare. Just put 100% of what you have into the relationship so that you can get, and even say tomorrow my husband comes and packs up and leaves. I can't look at that as a failure on my part because I'm only responsible for Missy and William's responsible for William. And if it happens because I listened to the voice of God and I felt like this was the direction I was supposed to go, God will secure me. God will help me to pick up like he has before, build myself back up and move forward. And that's the whole point of my show is the real mojo. That means the real momentum, the real moving forward, the real, stay in the path, keeping your mojo. And that is why I came up with the real mojo.
Thank you very much. And on that note, here is an official invitation for tomorrow's show. The show is going down by 7 p.m. Central Standard Time. It's going to be like around 8 for those who are on the other side of the US. And in Nigeria, the show will be on around 2 a.m. for Nigeria and UK, but you guys can always catch a replay. Here we go.
Have you ever been in love with someone from another country? Let's talk about it. The good, the bad, and the beautiful reality of love across boundaries. They said it wouldn't work. Different cultures, different countries, but here we are. Let's talk about love across borders. Different passports, different backgrounds, one love story. So, what is it really like to love across borders? Let's get real. Join me on The Real Mojo. We are unpacking the truth about cross-cultural love, the challenges and the wins, and everything in between. Join me on The Real Mojo podcast with Missy Jones.
All right. I love that. There's something about you women. When you want to do anything, you put every effort into it. Come on. I've seen other sisters that have a channel in our community. You're always doing an amazing job. You are not like me. All I do is flip on my camera and do my show. All right, Missy. So what should we look forward to tomorrow, where we're going to be having our special guest, Mr. Benjamin Barrera? What are the expectations for tomorrow?
Really, a lot of the same that we've heard today. You know, the story, the challenges of cross-border marriages, and we're going to go into the legal process of you know, cultural cross-border marriages, and Ben is going to bring the perspective of a man, and I will go more into the perspective of you know, what I've experienced as well. And what we want to do is continue to encourage people to open your minds, and if there is a possibility, if there's someone out there that may not be here across country, another culture, if they're even here in the United States, you know, open your mind, open your heart, and you know, you never know. You may be a lot of times pleasantly surprised, and we just want to help people navigate, learn how to navigate, give some suggestions. If you have questions, we're open for questions. And as you see, we're going to be real. We're going to answer just about any question. We got to keep it, you know, we got to keep it kosher, but you know, we're open to answering questions and helping people navigate.
So we are free to ask him some questions, right? I got loads of questions to ask because yes, they are marrying my sisters all the time. So I need to ask, why y'all marry my sister? Thank you, Missy, for being my guest today. It's a honor. I really appreciate you. I've always appreciated you since the day God allowed our paths to cross. You have always been a wonderful sister to me. My paddy, my best African American friend. Yeah, and I really appreciate you coming for this, and also thank you for being part of the Real Fam. The coolest thing is you have been rolling with Africa for a very long time, so you're gonna do well with the Real Fam, definitely. And we're gonna try as much as possible to show up tomorrow on your show. And of course, I'm still gonna be asking you. I know you are a very busy woman, but I'm still gonna be asking you to, whenever you're free, please come around, come and share all this wisdom with our community. Thank you, Missy. What is your last word as I let you go, Mama?
My last word is keep it real, keep your mojo. And I hope to see you all tomorrow on the show.
Yeah, thank you, Missy. All right, ladies and gentlemen. I want to thank all the members of the Real Fam. You guys are amazing. I know you have a very busy schedule, and yet you turn up and you show up today. Please join and subscribe to Missy channel. The link is right here. I'm still going to share the link at the backstage. Let's support each other. You know, that is what I am all about. I'm all about support. I can support anybody to any length, and when I support you, I'm not expecting you to even do anything back for me, because I know God will send those that will help me when I need help. But I think as Africans, we have to support each other all the time. Subscribing to channels, liking shows, it doesn't cost nothing. I never thought I'm going to be a YouTuber, but I've always been supporting our African brothers. Every time in my house, I will turn up all the TVs at times, and I will just turn them to African channels, separate one, the one with the room palo everywhere. I'll just turn it to YouTube, go to different channel and have them playing. That is my own way of supporting. So please let us support my sister, Missy. Missy is doing a fantastic job. She's so passionate about what is happening in the African community as well as African American community. More importantly, as a single mother who have navigated several challenges, and she is where she is right now, she is encouraging other single mom to navigate whatever life throws at them. So all we can do is to show up and also support her in doing that. Now, I want to personally thank everybody who is part of today's show. This is not like our regular show. There is no basketballs today. It was just Missy and I chatting. So I want to especially thank Uncle Dayo for coming to the studio and to ask the question. I want to also thank everybody who dropped a question to make the conversation more robust. Thank you, Auntie Grace, Uncle Patrick, Ma Sisi, my Chucky. Thank you very, very much. I appreciate everybody. I know you people were looking for trouble earlier where Auntie Grace was asking, are men supposed to eat? Auntie Grace, just because I talk, say men know they go kitchen to cook. We are men. We don't cook, y'all. We don't cook. When you marry, you're not supposed to be cooking. But when you have children, you have to cook. Okay? You have to cook, because don't let me when I not talk, say, Uncle Bear, you are teaching us nonsense. It's not nonsense. So when you are married, you are single, your wife is still shaking your ass up and down, you can do your African thing and say, hey, I'm the man of the house, I'm the head of it, I ain't cooking, y'all. But once your children have started coming, please enter the kitchen all the time. I keep telling you guys, you know me, I don't lie, I don't sugarcoat anything. I cook, even though I know sabi cook, but I still boil rice. I know how to do gari. I know how to do pounded yam. I can boil egg. I can fry egg. What else can I do? I know I can do all those things. I can cook red oil stew. Yes. I cook red oil stew. I can cook concoction. If you have stew in the house that is running out, I can pour the soup and rice together and make something really great out of it. What else can I cook? Yes, I can cook yam, white yam. What else? I cook a lot of things, okay? So my only problem is I can't cook soup. And unfortunately, as an African man, I love my vegetable soup. I love my egusi soup, oha, ufaku, olubu, ogbono. You know, I love all of those good soup. Although I can't cook it, but I'm telling you now, bro, if you are married, you are single, your wife is single, don't cook. It's a job. It's a job to cook. But the moment auntie pop, one picking come out like this, he pops second, bros, from the day, in fact, the moment auntie Gebele, as soon as she is pregnant, your cooking journey starts that day. You hear me, bro? Your cooking journey, or else you go pay below. If hunger catch your picking because you are doing coconut head, you're gonna pay the bill. Okay, you must wash plate as soon as auntie is pregnant. She's giving birth. Wash plate. Oh, I'm telling you, look, I am the minister of tradition and culture. Go and ask Dr. Adama. But I'm telling you right now, as soon as your children are coming, she's pregnant, bro, wash plate. I wash plate in my house. I've lost count of time. Yes. My children wash plate. They are grown now. They wash plate, but sometimes they will still be stubborn. They will start shifting. Hey, I washed in the money. This one you work. Shit. I come back from work. I see plate in the sink. I wash it. I no freaking send. I sweep. I carry trash out. I do almost everything. Once your wife is beginning to get pregnant, is having children, forget all those crap. We say, men don't do this, men don't do that. Oh, please, I'm begging you. Honestly speaking, you got to do those things, bro. If you don't clean, your house may have dust. Your children might be allergic to dust. If you are in the Western world, especially, by the time you go to hospital, by the time you do copay, you will be broke. So the house must be clean 24/7. And that is not the job of your wife alone. No. So I got to say it over and over again. Clean, vacuum, mop, wash toilet, do every goddamn thing. The only thing I will ask you to not tolerate is this. If your woman become bossy, if your woman dare tell you, hey, John, look at this toilet. How dare you? You haven't even washed this toilet. Are you waiting for me? I've been working. You want me to wash this toilet? Bro, don't wash. Don't wash. That's the woman that is becoming egoistic. That's a woman that's beginning to lose herself in that marriage. That's a woman that is beginning to disrespect you. If your woman call you, hey, baby, I hope you've cooked. You better make sure you cook before I come. I can't be cooking every day. I cook once, I cook twice. You are cooking for the rest of the day. Bro, tell her straight off. Tell her straight off. How dare you ask me to go to the kitchen to cook? Are you okay? Because that's a woman that want to start disrespecting you. I'm not supporting all that shit too. But if you have a respectful, a great woman, hardworking, considerate Christian lady, who you know that this woman literally will do all her shit. You know, she not even send you, bro. Make it a point that you are helping her round the clock. Okay? Check the cloth basket. They have clothes in the basket, bro. Just grab it. Go and dump it in the laundry. Dump it in the washer. Add soap. Start the machine. You finish, put it in dryer. Please, once your wife is pregnant, you are having children, bro, there is nothing like, oh, my wife must do this, me, I will do that. No. You are doing every freaky thing together. As I did like this, I don't know how many things I'm doing, and I don't care. I'm enjoying it. Because one, my wife is not asking me to do it. I just do it because I know it has to be done. If you go to hospital, if you're picking sick, you go to hospital. The last time, I think almost 3 years ago, when my baby went to hospital, we spent 3 days. Nothing, they scanned, they did everything. Nothing happened, nothing showed up. Did you know, after insurance has paid and everything, they still sent me a bill of like maybe $4,000 something dollars. I never pay until now. They go pay me before they go see that money collect. But I'm just telling you, if you don't fix stuff and your children start getting sick, it is way more expensive. And if you feel like your wife, the way your wife wants you to help, is coming up as if she's been disrespectful, please have a conversation with her. Okay? Sometimes you might be the one frustrating that woman that makes the woman to come off the way she come up. All right. Thank you, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you for coming up to support my sister as we have her as a special guest of honor today. Thank you, Cece. Thank you, Ashling, Miriam, everybody. Thank you very, very much. Elizabeth, thank you. Mom of 5. M5, M5 is mocking me. M5, see, haba, boiled egg. M5, a man that boil egg, has that man not cook? Or is boiling egg not part of cooking? Chucky, please bail me out, Baba. Boiling of egg is it not cooking? I boil water. Shit. M5, I cook, please. My sister Binkwe, what's up, mama? Binkwe said, thank you, CCOJ. We are both seeing the dirt and it's our house. Just make sure that it is clean. Don't wait to be told or asked. Exactly. Clean everywhere. I clean all the time. I keep telling you guys. And I'm a traditional man. I am a traditional man, but I clean. I do almost everything. Now, before the first 3 to 5 years in this America, that was why it was a war between me and my wife. Your Nigeria husband, you want me to sweep? Abomination. I should sweep. Hey, you have trash. You want me to take the trash out? What is your job as the wife? Bro, don't be so. Now, I don't even care. I do every goddamn thing. I want my peace. All right. Thank you. That Chucky said, Chucky, you define trouble. Chucky said, I have OCD. In and out. I have OCD. In and out has got to be clean. I don't need to be told because I hate the slightest dirt. God bless you, my brother. These are just some of the messages I think some men out there need to hear. Okay? Cleaning the house is not a woman's job. It's for everybody. And when you have children, you got to make it a priority. Look, let me tell you, I don't know of all women, but I know right now, majority of the women we have now, they love clean house. They will literally clean their house themselves. But I don't want to put brotherhood. I don't want to put brotherhood on a blast. Most times, we brotherhood, we are the one that mess the house up. We and our children. Let me just be frank with you. We and our children, we are the one that mess the house up majority of the time. So if you are cleaning the house, it's not like you are doing your wife a favor. It is you stepping up as a man, knowing that, oh, my kids, my children do this, I gotta do this. All right. Thank you, ladies and gentlemen. Please let me give Misty her flowers. Misty came in and she brought it 100%. And just to remind you guys, we're gonna have another special guest from the Real Fam on Friday. Our honey babe is gonna be here with me, and we are going to dissect managing corporate life, relationship, and marriage. We're gonna dissect it. My honey babe will be here. You know, honey babe brings it 100. So please join us on Friday. We're gonna be streaming here as well as streaming on Honey Babe's platform. I hope Honey Babe have set up our platform for live streaming. If that doesn't happen, we will stream here, and then I'm gonna give Honey Babe access so that she can also upload it to her platform. So be here on Friday. We will do some cruise tomorrow, but Friday we're going to have another fantastic session. We want to talk about life in the corporate world, especially for women. How do women juggle life in the corporate world and still manages relationship as well as marriages? Come and learn from our experienced sisters on this platform. We have a lot of sisters here who have worked in the corporation, and I'm looking forward to having them come and share their experience. Sister Yinka, Cici, Bingpe, plenty of them, Marriott, all of them. I'm expecting our sisters to come on Friday and come and tell us how they try to work everything out, and they are still looking beautiful. Yeah? Thank you for all the support. I love you all. I'll see you guys in the next one. We have so many issues to cover tomorrow. May God protect us. Now, a lot of bad boosts. For instance, it seems like your favorite Nigerian celebrity, Judy Austin and Yor, they are separating gradually underground, but we are still trying to confirm that. So watch out for that. There are several issues. My Nigerian president said that there is no more corruption in Nigeria now ever since he took office. So we're going to discuss all that tomorrow. Also, did you know that instead of coming to America, Canada, or UK, you can actually move to Japan and you will make a lot of money right now? Because Japan is giving free, easy access to 4 African countries. As at last time, I think Nigeria, Tanzania, and maybe 2 other African countries. I will look into that. So in case if you have people in Nigeria who want to jackpot, Japan is a really good place to go. And if you jackpot to Japan, please go and quickly get certification in their tech industry. Japanese are building fantastic technologies. They've already created towns. Just like you have Chinatown and everything, they now have Nigeria town, they have Tanzania town, they have Ghana. Yes, thank you, Ashley. God bless you, my sister. Nigeria, Ghana, and 2 others. Can't remember. Yes, Nigeria, Ghana. I know Tanzania is part of it, and then one more country, I'll look it up. So we're going to discuss all that tomorrow. And then tomorrow, we're also going to have our episode, Dear Uncle Shola. That's both is happening on Uncle Shola's platform. Now, I come your way tomorrow. Thank you, everybody. I love you all. Miriam, this one you are laughing. Miriam, do you want to go to Japan? Can you speak Japanese? Miriam, do you know the meaning of Kinkigan? Eh? CM5. M5 say, let me go do my IT degree and take a few certification and jackpot. M5, you go nowhere. My babies, they go hold you down. You are going nowhere. All right. Bye-bye, everybody. God bless you all for all the support. I love you always. My name is Benuru, and I'll see you guys in the next one.
From Nigeria to Vegas, the lights are bright. Champagne popping under the neon night. I swear be shining gold and white. Laughter louder than the city's heights. Oh yeah, step on the dance floor. Wind your waist, bend down low. Nigeria to the world, let it show. We rock it, we flex it, let it flow. There's a heat, but we bring the rain. Palm wine vibes in a champagne lane. Jollof aroma drives me insane. Culture's a wave you can't contain. Raise your hands if you feel alive. Heartbeat matching the drums drive. Oh yeah, step on the dance floor. Wind your waist, bend down low. Nigeria to the world, let it show.